to Tennessee. I'm Phyllis. Today, I have a neighbor who has recently had a baby. So I'm going to make her and her husband and her daughter, that's I think 3 years old, maybe almost 3, I'm going to make them some chicken spaghetti today. It's a very simple recipe, and we're going to put it together. I'll have all the instructions for you in the description box below. But what I'm going to do right now, I've got some water boiling. I added some salt and some vegetable oil. And now I'm going to be putting in a 16-ounce box of spaghetti. Now, I know that you guys never do this, but I do. I break the noodles in half. There's no, I mean, you know, I get it that you want the noodles to be long, but I always break mine. I don't see any need in struggling with a long spaghetti noodle. 16-ounce box of spaghetti. We'll kind of let that boil until it's tender. And once it gets tender, we'll be adding it to our pot. Now we're going to start with our mixture today. You can get a rotisserie chicken if you want. I just get the canned chicken because it's in chicken broth and I like that idea. So I'm already sprayed my pan that I'm taking to them. Don't you love these Pop Tops? I use juice and all because I'm going to be adding several ingredients. This can is 12.5 ounces, great value chunk chicken. Yeah, 12.5 ounces. And I'm going to see how much I'm going to need for this dish. I'm probably going to get some more chicken in there. Also, what I like about this is it has the broth, but it also has some chicken fat, which really flavors the dish. Let's see. I'm going to put, let me hold this up for you, see. I'm going to put, you see how much chicken I have in there now? 2 of those cans. I think I'm going to put 1 more can of chicken. Let me grab that. And here we go again. 1 more can of chicken with a good fat. That makes it look a little heartier for me. So we got a good amount of chicken in there. 3 of the 12.5 ounces. So the next thing we're going to put in here, I'm going to chop up an onion. And I'm going to step away for just a minute and get my onion. And I'm going to kind of chop that up. Not so rough. I'm going to do it a little thinner because I'm taking this dish out. If it was just for me and Alan, you know, I would just rough chop it, wouldn't I? Stir your noodles every little bit. Make sure they're not sticking. And remember what I told you about the wooden spoon on the pan. If you put a wooden spoon up here, it won't boil over while you're doing other stuff. All right, let's get our onion chopped up so we can mix it in here. Now, you know if you're putting an onion in something, you know it's going to be delicious, don't you? I mean, there's just no doubt about it. It's going to be good. And you know, as long as I can get Vidalia onions, that's what I am going to use in my recipe. I'm not going to use those old yellow young onions that are so bitter. When I take food to some people that have gone through a rough patch, or maybe they're sick, or you know, have things going on, when I'm cooking or putting this together, the whole time that I'm working on it, you know, I always think about it. I always think about the person or the people that are involved in, you know, things that have happened, or, you know, having a new baby, and just think that they're, you know, at this wonderful point in their life that they've had a baby. So I'm proud for them and I'm happy for them. So my way of kind of sharing that is, you know, making food for them so that they can sit down and maybe just, you know, fix them a little bite to eat along the way while they're so busy getting adjusted to everything and adjusting to the new baby when they already have a baby girl at home. So we're proud that they are our neighbors. And now you see I've just chopped this up and I'm just going to sprinkle it in. I may possibly, no, I'm going to put the whole onion in. Thought about just putting a half this time, but I'm going to go on and do the whole thing. We're going to bake this in the oven once we get it all together. We'll put it in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. And of course, that depends on how your oven cooks. No one's oven cooks the same. Mine's getting where it gets things brown a little bit in the back. If anybody knows what that's about, let me know. I noticed when I made my sourdough bread, I made them a loaf of sourdough to take to them. And when I took that out, the back of the bread in the back was kind of browned up. So I thought, I don't know what's wrong with that oven. Maybe if you know the answer, please put it in the comments of why things are getting a little more done in the back of my stove. And you know I'm going to save this and put it in my little freezer bag. All right, we've got our onions in. 3 cans of chicken. That was probably a medium onion, about a medium-sized onion. The next thing we're going to, okay, I've got another thing of sour cream I need to get out. I'm going to finish up using this sour cream. The amount of sour cream is a cup. 1 cup of sour cream. So I finished using that up. Let me get a little more sour cream out of my fridge. I just think sour cream is just, I know it's dairy, but man, is it not a perfect food. I love some sour cream. Cup of sour cream, 1 can of Rotel, and since a 3-year-old will probably be eating some of these noodles and things, I'm going to use the mild. I'm not going to make it hot so that they can feed it to their, if they want to, they can feed it to their other child and other children that might come to visit. Just want everybody to be able to enjoy it and not be, oh, this is hot. This is too spicy. But if you make it for yourself and you love hot stuff, get you some hot Rotel and some red chilies and all that good stuff and add it to it if you want it like that. It's fun. Okay. Rotel mild. This can is 10 ounces. 10 ounces of diced tomatoes and green chilies. I love the way Rotel smells. I get every little drop of that juice out that I can in the Rotel. So we've got sour cream, we've got Rotel, onion. Don't forget your onion. That gives it a lot of good flavor. Now the next thing I'm going to be cutting up, and you can grate it. I'm just going to cut it in chunks because it's going to melt. I'm going to be cutting up some Velveeta. You knew it was going to be Velveeta, didn't you? And I'm just going to chunk it up and put it in. I think that the cheese and the noodles and the chicken, it's just a good dish. I made them a loaf of sourdough bread. I made sourdough yesterday. Well, yesterday evening late. I made my sourdough, so I thought, well, that would be a good bread to go with this. And in the oven right now, I need to check on it. Just a minute, guys. Okay. I'm making a banana bread in there. That's not going to these guys, but he's going uptown to the Martin house. They have guests coming in tonight, and my daughter asked me if I would please make a banana bread for the people that are coming. And I said, well, of course I will. So I've got that in the oven, and I'm going to run that up there in just a little bit. I don't think they're checking in today until around maybe 1 o'clock. So that gives me just a little time. Now make this for your family. You can put any kind of cheese in here. You know, if you're making it hot spicy, just put your pepper jack in there. One of these days I'm going to come up with some pepper jack and have it in here. I'm just using what I've got today. All right, now remember, we'll go over it again. Chicken, 1 onion cut up, 1 can of Rotel. And you see about how much cheese I've got. Put as much cheese as you want. I would say that might be a little over 1/4 of a pound of cheese. But just put as much cheese as you want. And once you start to mix it up, you might decide, I might need to put just a little more cheese to that. And you can finish it off with cheese, with grated cheese on top. Just kind of get it all together. Now, another thing that I like to add to this recipe is a can of cream of chicken soup. Now, what I'm going to do is go over there to my cupboard and see if I have a can of cream of chicken soup. And what the cream of chicken soup does to it is it kind of gives it, it kind of thickens it up. A lot of times when I do make this recipe, I do make it a day ahead, and I put all of this in except for the noodles, and I let this kind of just, all these flavors come together for 24 hours, and then I take it out of the fridge and I add my noodles to it, and it has such a good flavor because it's been, you know, it's had time for all these to combine. So I'm going to go over here and see if I can find a can of cream of chicken soup. Okay, we found the cream of chicken soup, and I'm going to add it, cream of chicken. I'm going to add this. See how thin it is? This will thicken it up. So I'm adding this to my mixture. And once you bake it, a lot of this thickens up too. So you can kind of see our mixture. My noodles are almost ready to put in. So I'm just mixing this up. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just mixing it up. Now's my time to add a tablespoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of pepper. Chicken really is good with a lot of pepper. And this cream of chicken was condensed soup. And it was 10 ounces, 10.5 ounces. I think you'll be amazed at this recipe. You know, I'm taking my time with it, but you don't have to. You can just throw this stuff together and boom, you've got a meal. I'm going to take my pasta over here and I'm going to drain it, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, here's my pasta. I've got it drained. And so what I'll do now is I'll just start working up, putting the noodles in, and I dropped a noodle on the floor. All right. What I'll do now, let me check on this cake. I don't want that to burn. Then we'll assemble it. Let me see what it looks like. Just a few more minutes on that. All right. Just start taking your pasta and start working it in, which means a lot of people rinse their pasta. I'm not going to for this dish because I'm not going to stop the cooking process. This is going to get baked. So I didn't probably cook my pasta a whole long time, maybe about 20-25 minutes. 22 minutes usually is what I do. All right, so just start mixing your pasta in. What I like to do is have more chicken than pasta. Yeah, it is a pasta dish, but you just don't want to overload the pasta. Just have a lot of good chicken and cheese and the rotel. So just kind of see. You know, this was a 16-ounce box of pasta. Just keep working it in. Now, when I bake this, I will put foil over it because you don't want your pasta to, it can, and I've seen it do that. It can burn or get too done or dry out if it's not, you know, down good in your liquid. So put some foil over the top of the dish. Now, I do hope that they have somebody that they can share this with, because I know that the two of them, this is going to be way more, but hopefully they can eat it maybe more than once or freeze it. This is a great meal to freeze. It's good in your refrigerator up to 4 days. I would not eat it after the 4th day, just because it's got some dairy products in it, like the sour cream. Now you can see when my pasta, when my edges are getting a little full, you don't want to keep adding the pasta at that time. You just want to have enough pasta in here to kind of say it's chicken spaghetti, because you gotta have spaghetti. Gotta have chicken and gotta have chicken in here, and you gotta have some spaghetti, because that's the whole name of the show, isn't it? Chicken spaghetti. All right, I'm ready to get my foil on this, and we're ready to bake this for 30 minutes. And then my husband and I are gonna let it cool just a minute. I might put it on a cookie sheet to transport it down there to them. That's always a safe way. If you're taking a hot meal, put it in a basket. I put stuff in closed baskets before. If I had my big Dutch oven and I was going to take it somewhere, I just put it in a closed basket. It was the best thing ever to get it transported. Now, leave me some questions if you have any questions in the comments. Now, I can just play with food forever, but I'm going to stop. It's done. It's good. I'll take this pasta, and I'll make Alan and I something out of this leftover pasta. You know I'm not going to let that go to waste. I will put about a little garlic on top. You know, some garlic and cheese bread would be good, but I'm just going to take them some sourdough. And I hope they like sourdough bread. I haven't met anybody yet that's said, no, I don't want any sourdough bread. I hadn't met a soul yet that's turned it down. So maybe they won't either. Don't know. So put a little pepper. Okay, salt and pepper and garlic. Let's get this in the oven. I hope that this cake is out so I can get this in, because I've got to take my cake out so I can let this cook. Oh, it's done great. I want to show you what I've made. This is what I call banana bread. Oh, I wish you could smell it. I wish you could smell it. I put 4, I make it with 4 mashed up bananas, ripe bananas. And let me get some foil for the top of that. 4 bananas. And to that 4 bananas, I add a secret ingredient to that. To my cake mix and I add French vanilla coffee milk to my banana bread. And then, of course, I put a tablespoon of vanilla flavoring in that. Just really makes it great. And those bananas have to be super ripe, too, for that flavor. Going in the oven, 350 degrees, 30 minutes. at that time, I'm going to look at it, see what I think. I will be putting some more cheese on top if I don't think I've got enough inside it. If I don't see cheesy coming up through here, I'll put some more on top. I may have put enough that I'll see, you know, that it's full of cheese. It just varies. So in the oven it's going. My oven's already hot from my bread that I'm going to get prepared to go to the Martin house with that. All right. 30 minutes. We'll check on it. Thank y'all for coming today. And when I get this out, I'll show it to you. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to put everything in the trash and package everything up. And when I take it out, I'll show you guys what it looks like. And oh, I may even have to take a little bite out of it just to make sure, you know, that you don't want to take anything off somewhere if it needs seasoning. So I'll take a bite of it and I'll tell you how it tastes. Hey, welcome back now. I just took it out. I had it in here 35 to 40 minutes and I just took it out of the oven. Can you see? I put some more cheese on top like I said I would. You know how I love that cheese. I'm fixing to take this to my neighbor. You can see the little red tomatoes and the noodles. I think we should sample a piece, just a little tiny bite, before I take it over. Try to get a bite of everything to make sure the noodles are done. Don't know if I can get a noodle or not. There we go. Let me try this little bite. Turn my oven off. And we'll see. Let me fix this place where it looks like I got into it. I'll fix that in just a minute. Let's see. I've got a noodle. I've got some chicken. Ooh, it's hot. Really hot. You know, I've made this so many times. My 3 girls beg for it. Mom, can you make some chicken spaghetti? Mom, can you do some chicken spaghetti? I made it for my granddaughter when she had her baby. They loved it. You saw that mainly we opened cans. The only thing we really cooked was the pasta that went in it. My onions are good and tender. It's got a very good taste to it. I think they'll really like this. Make it for your family. Make it for somebody that's had a baby or a shut-in. You don't have to make it in this 9x13. You know, you can condense it down. Get your rotisserie chicken, canned chicken, you know. Look in the description box. See what all we use to make this. And please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have already subscribed and you're already watching and you always push the like, I really thank you for that. And please come back and join me on my next thing that we're going to be doing. Bye-bye.